You open your banking app on the 28th of the month. The number on the screen makes your stomach drop. You did not go on vacation. You did not buy anything extravagant. You just lived your normal life, paid your normal bills, and ate your normal meals. And somehow, the money is almost gone. If that moment feels familiar, you are not failing. You are not undisciplined. You are not bad with money. You are not uniquely broken in some way that other people are not. You are caught in a system that was engineered deliberately and methodically to drain your account before the calendar flips. 2/3 of Americans run out of money before next payday. Not just people on minimum wage, not just people in financial crisis. People with college degrees, full-time salaries, retirement accounts, and car payments they are current on. This is not a discipline problem. This is a design problem. And the design is not yours. Let us talk about what that design actually looks like, from the moment your paycheck clears to the moment it disappears. The extraction begins before you even check your balance. Your direct deposit hits. Within hours, your landlord or mortgage servicer takes their share. That number was set as high as the local market would allow. There was no negotiation. You signed a contract because you needed somewhere to live, and the price was the price. Then the subscription economy activates. One by one, silently, automatically. The streaming service you use 3 times a week. The one you use 3 times a year. The gym membership. The cloud storage. The software tool you signed up for during a free trial and forgot to cancel. The meal kit subscription you paused but never killed entirely. Each charge is small. That is not an accident. It is a deliberate pricing strategy. Teams of behavioral economists sit inside subscription businesses and calculate the exact dollar amount below which most consumers will not bother to cancel. That number is roughly $15 per month. Anything under $15 is perceived as low friction enough to let slide. So the pricing gets built around that threshold. The product gets priced at $12.99 or $14.99. Not because the product is worth exactly that, because that is the number that minimizes cancellation rates. Your inertia is a revenue line item in someone else's quarterly earnings report. Consider what a realistic subscription stack looks like in 2024. A major streaming service. A second streaming service because the show you watch is on a different platform. A music subscription. A cloud backup plan. A fitness app. A news website paywall. An Amazon Prime membership bundled with services you did not specifically choose. A password manager. A VPN you downloaded once during a security scare. Add them up. Most households land somewhere between $150 and $300 per month. That is between $1,800 and $3,600 per year, leaving your account in amounts too small to trigger a second look. The subscription economy generated over $600 billion in revenue in 2023. That number does not come from people who love every service they pay for. It comes primarily from accounts that continue renewing long after the active use stopped. By the time your fixed expenses clear, a significant portion of your take-home pay has already left the building, and most of it happened automatically while you slept. Now the variable spending begins. And this is where the consumer environment becomes genuinely hostile to your financial health. Every physical store you walk into has been designed by professionals who understand human psychology at a granular level. The layout is not random. The lighting is not incidental. The music tempo has been tested and calibrated to control how long you linger near high-margin products. The product placement near checkout exists because behavioral data confirmed it converts better than any other location in the store. Grocery stores put the milk and eggs at the back of the building. That walk is not about store organization. It forces you past hundreds of products you did not come for. The goal is exposure. Exposure creates impulse. Impulse creates revenue. The price tag that reads $19.99 instead of $20 is not a clerical quirk. It exploits a documented cognitive bias called left-digit anchoring. Your brain processes the leading digit more heavily than the rest of the number. 19 feels fundamentally cheaper than 20, even though the actual difference is a single penny. Retail pricing teams know this. Every price point in a major retailer has been deliberately chosen using this research. You are not making irrational decisions. You are making predictable decisions that a very sophisticated system spent decades learning how to engineer. Then there is the credit infrastructure sitting underneath all of it. And this is where the real math starts to sting. Most people think of their credit card as a convenience tool, a way to earn points, a way to avoid carrying cash, a way to separate their spending from their checking account balance so the numbers are easier to track. That framing is exactly what the issuer wants you to hold on to. Because as long as you see the card as a tool for you, you do not see it as a product designed to generate revenue from you. There is also the psychological phenomenon of payment decoupling. When you pay with a card, you do not feel the money leaving. The physical act of handing over cash activates a real sense of loss in the brain. Swiping a card does not. This has been studied extensively. The result is that people consistently spend more when paying electronically than when paying in cash. Not because they intend to, because the friction is gone. The credit card is not just a financial product. It is a tool that removes the psychological cost of spending at the exact moment spending feels most natural. The average American household carries over $6,000 in revolving credit card debt. At an average APR of over 22%, that balance costs the household roughly $110 per month in interest charges alone. $110 every 30 days. For nothing. Not for groceries, not for rent, not for any experience or item you are actively enjoying, just for the privilege of having spent money you did not have sometime in the past. The credit card company calls this interest. A more honest name is a tax on past spending that never stops. And here is the part that will genuinely bother you once you see it clearly. $110 per month is $1,320 per year. If you had redirected that amount into a broad market index fund over 20 years, at the historical average annual return of roughly 10%, you would be sitting on approximately $86,000. Not from a windfall, not from a promotion, not from a side hustle or a hot stock tip. Simply by stopping the leak. That is the hidden cost of carrying a balance. It is not just the interest you pay, it is the compounding wealth you are not building while you pay it. Right now, compound interest is not working for you. It belongs to the institution. Every month the balance survives, the same mathematical force that could be growing your net worth is instead growing theirs. The most effective financial trap in modern life is not a scam. It is not illegal. It is a combination of an auto-renewing subscription economy, a revolving credit product with a minimum payment option, an overdraft protection feature that costs $35 per use, and a consumer environment that has been engineered by behavioral scientists to maximize what you spend. None of it required your explicit agreement to work against you. It just required your default behavior. And your default behavior is exactly what the system was built to capture. Behavioral economists have documented for decades that human beings have a strong status quo bias. We preserve existing settings. We defer financial decisions when the consequences feel distant. We consistently underestimate recurring small costs. We overestimate our future self's ability to course correct. The consumer financial industry was built by people who read those studies. The minimum payment field on your credit card statement exists because research showed that presenting a minimum payment option causes the average consumer to pay significantly less than they otherwise would have. Not because the minimum payment is good for you, because it extends the life of the balance and the duration of the interest revenue. Every feature that looks like a customer benefit has a revenue model running underneath it. The rewards points earn you travel or cash back and encourage you to spend more to reach the next tier. The overdraft protection saves you from a declined card and charges you $35 for the service. The buy now, pay later option lets you take home the item today and quietly splits a payment you might not have made at all into 4 invisible pieces. These features are not neutral tools. They are financial products, and they were designed to generate returns for the institution, not the customer. The path back is not about willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It depletes over the course of a day. Behavioral finance has shown repeatedly that financial decisions made on willpower alone rarely survive long enough to change outcomes. The systems designed to extract your money are automatic. Your defense needs to be automatic too. You cannot out-discipline a system that operates 24 hours a day without asking for your permission. You cannot be motivated enough to override an architecture that was built by engineers with doctorates in human behavior. The only move that actually works is building counter systems that run just as automatically as the ones working against you. Changing your defaults is the only intervention that lasts. When your paycheck clears, the first transfer should go to you. Before rent, before subscriptions, before any spending. A fixed amount that moves automatically into a separate account before your spending brain ever sees it. This is called paying yourself first, and the research supporting it spans multiple decades and dozens of peer-reviewed studies. It works not because it requires discipline, but because it eliminates the decision entirely. After that, a single focused hour spent auditing every recurring charge on your account will surface money leaving your life that you forgot you were losing. The average person who conducts a real subscription audit discovers between $50 and $200 per month in charges attached to services they no longer actively use. That is between $600 and $2,400 per year leaving silently. Kill the subscriptions. Plug the leak. Stop paying interest on yesterday's spending. Then redirect that recovered money into a vehicle where compound interest works in your direction instead of against you. Your paycheck is not the problem. The river is big enough. The problem is the number of holes in the bucket. And every hole is a default that someone else set on your behalf. Defaults can be changed. It takes one afternoon of focus and one automatic transfer to start unwinding years of extraction. If you want to understand the next mechanism keeping most people locked out of real wealth, the one that separates people who build equity from people who pay rent forever, there is more to uncover. Here is what to do right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, right now. Subscribe to this channel. Every video here is built around one real financial trap, one real statistic, and one concrete way to start dismantling it. No hype, no get-rich promises, just the math and the reality. Hit the like button if this video made something click for you. It tells the algorithm that this kind of content deserves to reach more people. Most people scrolling right now are staring at the same banking app screen you were staring at when this video started. This information should find them. Drop a comment below with the number that hit hardest. Maybe it was the 65%. Maybe it was the $86,000 in lost compound growth. Maybe it was the subscription total you mentally tallied while watching. Write it in the comments. Putting that number in writing is the first step toward doing something about it. And if you have a friend who opened their banking app this week and felt that same stomach drop, send this video to them. Not because it will make them feel better, because it will show them the reason. And the reason is the beginning of the fix. The next video goes deeper into the system. It covers the one financial product most people sign up for without reading the terms, and how those terms quietly move thousands of dollars out of their net worth every single year. Watch it immediately after this one. The two videos together will change how you see every financial decision you make from this point forward.